Welcome back to the Cheri Hill Show, doing everything possible to spark and fuel your entrepreneurial dreams. Now, here's your host, Cheri Hill.
And I have with me Tom Taormina, who is a prolific author. In last segment, we were talking about his latest, his 12th book. It was Rocket Science. But Tom has just an amazing background of quality control, management. I mean, you speak all over the country, you're on radio, you've written books, you're really well known in the litigation world for people that do bad things with their products and then are held accountable in court. But without getting into all your credentials and all of your knowledge, I really wanted you to come here today because we're talking about really what's going on in Northern Nevada, the Tesla effect, and your realization, because you come out of the space race. You were there, you helped put a man on the moon. How did we accomplish that as a nation in, 7 or 8 years, right?
Exactly.
I mean, that was massive. You, of course, have boiled it down to individual business owners and companies and organizations that bring you in to really look at what are they doing, their processes. How do we become excellent? And so as we left the last segment, I like the track that we were on. We can go on and on about all the horrific customer experiences every one of us has, sometimes daily, for businesses that think mediocrity is acceptable. My background in, marketing and running companies and helping people start companies, I mean, I focus heavily on the marketing and the delivery of the customer experience. When we talk about how are we going to support and help a lot of the local businesses that are here match or even exceed what the expectation is from these large gigafactory owners coming in to say we need excellence and we will accept no less?
That's a great topic to finish up this segment on. It throws the gauntlet down to all of the businesses and all the civic and community leaders in the area. You mentioned earlier about people being the best they want to be. That's very individual, obviously. You can be the best at your sport. You can be the best at your business. Regardless of what it is, you're talking about passion. I can teach anything but passion. You have to have that in you. So, if I'm a business person and I've been skating along all these years and making a living, I'm belittling any business owner that's still in business, especially after 2008. I'm working at my business instead of working in my business most of the time. So number one is people taking time to work at what is their business, what are they actually doing. Awareness, number one. Number two, the only way we can raise the bar in the community is by example. We are diligently looking for companies that want to be the brand leaders. We're diligently looking for companies that want to excel. And we're looking for companies who will create this model. If you read Elon Musk's history and his different companies, it's a very, very radical departure from conventional business. He gives away his intellectual property. I had the same experience with Dell. Dell let me co-own all of the IP that I developed because they said we're generations ahead of that now, and everybody is welcome to it. Here we have an entirely new paradigm. We can create passion based on demonstrable winning companies. Look at Sierra Nevada Corporation, a local company that's seldom talked about, but it's a leader in aerospace. They very quietly go about doing their work, and they've just endowed the awesome center at UNR, built a wonderful entrepreneurial center. Why don't we dwell on what they're doing and what Chris Howard's doing at UNR rather than looking at a better way to run the casino? Why don't we find organizations that absolutely they intend to be part of this new Northern Nevada business revolution. They want their name somewhere in the annals of the evolution of Northern Nevada. My quest right now is to find business leaders who want to take that leap. The 9 steps of the Apollo business model are really rote and simple. The guts to implement them is going to be really painful for a lot of people.
This is Cheri Hill. You're listening to The Cheri Hill Show with guest Tom Taormina, who is the Executive Director for the Center for Business Excellence. And I would encourage you to go out and check out cbenv.com to find out about all the great stuff that they're bringing to the region regarding education, information, transfers of knowledge. And I'm really looking forward to some of the workshops that you guys are going to be putting on, because as we have stated, it's a much higher level of knowledge transfer from the people that are in your group, the Center for Business Excellence, down to business owners who have never really understood how to dramatically and effectively create an excellent business.
Right. Ever since I've lived here, I've put on workshops that the demographics of them becomes very interesting. Let's say there's 20 people sitting in on one of these new topics, as it were, things you don't typically think about, like genuine dialogue. How do you talk to each other? There's going to be 50% of the people in the room say, well, that was interesting. And they'll be better people for having heard it. There'll be another 20% that say, I'm going to go back and dig into this a little bit more. I'm going to try some of these things. Unfortunately, it's like going to one of these management retreats where you fall into each other's arms and you jump off of buildings or whatever they do. When you get back to the office, nothing's changed. It's the same place you left 2 days ago. So that group that says, I'm going to go back to my company and I'm going to implement these things is equally frustrated. Then you have whatever the leftover percentage is, it's not very big, of those who say, I got to do something differently. And that's the worst thing. I really have fun with some of my CEOs. I said, if you shave first and then brush your teeth in the morning, try reversing the order. And I come back a month later and they said, it's impossible. I've been doing it for so long, it's just impossible. I can't reverse those two things. So the key to all of it is we've got to change personally. You've known me for a long time. I hired a personal trainer this year and a nutritionist, just turning 70, and my mom's 93, so I have incentive to keep on going. It was a very difficult decision. I've been making excuses for many years. Yeah, this 70 sounded like a good time for me to commit to myself, nobody else, to commit to myself to do things differently. One thing I've learned in the last 45 years, the only human that likes change is a wet baby.
Yeah, no kidding.
If you want to be the best company you can be, then get selfish. Identify your goals. Again, if you want to sell the business in a couple of years, let's all work in that direction. The best thing someone who acquires a company can have is a company that runs on its own. And you don't have to hire the CEO on contract for 3 years while he plays golf and you just use the name. Let's buy a company that's running itself. That's very, very doable.
Yeah. Well, Tom, thank you for being here. Always a pleasure, and always love our interactions. And check out the Center for Business Excellence, cbenv.com, or you can reach out to Tom directly if you're like, wow, I think I need to bring this guy into my organization for some consulting or review of processes and procedures. Where would you like them to go?
To oresonance.com is our current website. It has our contact information. Email, phone, anything works. And the first hour is always on me. I love meeting new companies. I love sitting down with people I haven't worked with before.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Cheri.